The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 595 of Daily Deck Review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Blue Kingslayer playing cards from Ellusionist. So, without further ado, take a look and see what we get. As we see, it's in that glossy finished tuck box here. It is that darker blue kind of colorway. It says Kingslayer with the sword and playing cards. And then it's pretty much a pretty simplistic box, nothing like too crazy going on. Then you got on the bottom, you got the Illusionist logo, and these are created and distributed by Illusionist, Playing Card Co., manufactured in Belgium, so it has a slightly different stock and finish. And then we got the barcode there. And on the back, little sneak peek of the back design. And there's nothing on the sides there. And then there's no seal for the cards, a little thumb grip there. And on the top, it just says Kingslayer. Now, on the tuck flap here, it says Topple the Master. Then your tuck flaps is that blue gloss. Take the cards out of the box. On the inside of the tuck box there, it's just that matte white finish, nothing too crazy there. Now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the card. And I will mention that the stock and finish is the Card Emoji True Linen Finish, using classic card stock, making these like these thick and long-lasting veins and stuff like that. So here we'll start with the back design. We have a pretty simplistic back design, a nice classic illusionist back design there. And this is the last like colorway that I had to review because I reviewed all the other colorways before. So it's the last one here. And it is a mirrored design there with that standard white border. So it is that kind of blue, darker blue background there with the two slanted swords there. And it is mirrored, so we flip it over. Same design in both directions. And now for the cards you get with the deck, here we start with the first card here, like the Joker kind of card here. There. And it's the two swords kind of like in a straight line. The ends are just touching there, and you got like the kind of like the metal sheen little lines there. And then you got the swords there in an X shape there. And they're in blue. Then you got the custom Ace of Spades here, which is Kingslayer. Then you got the King there. And then as the sword going through the King there in the Spade. And that's just printed in Belgium. And then the rest of the suits are pretty standard. They're slightly smaller suits, like pips. They're on the cards there, but they're pretty standard. Nothing like too crazy there. Then we got the core cards here, which are pretty standard as well, just in a blue and white kind of colorway there. Then you got the diamonds, which are slightly custom. They all have like the little black border there for a little bit of a detail to them. Yeah, but other than that, they're pretty standard as well. And the little corner pips have that same little black border. Then you got the blue and white colorway for the core cards. And then the club core cards here, same custom blue and white colorway. Then the clubs are pretty standard as well. Just like I said, smaller pips on the cards. Then you got the hearts here with that custom blue and white colorway. And then the hearts here are that same kind of pretty standard style, just like the black borders like the diamonds there. And then the last two cards in the deck, and a little extra Queen of Hearts there. And then you got the double backer of the back design. Now that we took a look at the cards for the handling, I did say these were the Card Emoji kind of true linen finish there. So they will handle slightly different than your average air cushion finish there. And there's some pretty smooth springs. Like a mix between like a thin and kind of like a thicker stock there. So pretty nice spring ability. They fan super smoothly there. And I did forget to mention that all like the numbers in the corners are just all black numbers there. Usually they're red for the red cards, but they're all just like the same color. So when I fan it, you can see all that. Super smooth Pharaoh. The nice giant fan. Overall, they seem to be handling fantastic. No real issues there, but I'm used to like shuffling different stocks and finishes all the time, so it might not feel that different to me. But if you're not used to like kind of moody stock and finish, then they will definitely feel a little bit different there, because like you can even tell like the weave if you're putting a light looks a little bit different than like your classic kind of air cutter finish. But they still handle pretty similar. So it's not like too much of a difference. But you will notice a little bit here and there. But here's that simplistic background once again in that nice blue colorway. And then you got the slightly custom faces, but they're not like too crazy or anything there. And then you got the core cards. It was that custom white and blue colorway, so pretty nice, simplistic and classy deck from Ellusionist. These are long sold out. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. And this has been day 595 of a daily deck review. And this has been the Blue Kingslayer playing cards from Ellusionist. And I'm the Carrying Character signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.